that you're going to terminate all the deputies and bring in the SWAT teams, is this something that you're at all planning in this area?
So I ran for sheriff 4 years ago, and my opponents at the time, I guess that's where it came from. A lot of people like to, start a rumor mill, and it's absolutely not true. There's no truth to any of that. First off, that would be a dumb move on anybody's part, is to come in and get rid of people. I honestly believe, and we talked about the deputies a minute ago, I think the deputies and the staff here in Storey County, they really know the needs and what needs to be changed, and they have ideas already in place that maybe they're not being addressed. Okay. And I know as an employee at other places and over my lifetime, it seems like we always had the ideas on, we should do this or change that or do something. And it could be anything from parking out in front of the building to actual policing and policy changes and things. And I think the deputies are the best resource to pull from when it comes to things like that. So there's absolutely no truth to that. Okay. And if anything, retention and getting more deputies here employed, getting folks to come up here and work and making it a fun place for employees. That's my plan. I think with the community development too, and working with different groups here in the county, getting involved with the community is going to be that little moral boost to everybody, and we're going to just be more involved with the deputies in the community. They'll like it, and it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
So, there's no truth to any of that stuff.
Okay.
And just to touch on the other note with the SWAT teams, I thought that was kind of funny. Years ago, I talked to people about being on the SWAT team in Carson City, and I have been. I was on there for 19 years, and I have a lot of experience in the leadership and the tactical end of it. Worked with a lot of great guys, and we did a lot of good things for Carson City with that unit. However, there is no need for that unit here in up in Virginia City, and I would never bring a SWAT team up here to so-called invade Virginia City, like I've been told. That people have said. If anything, getting the grant funding and bringing equipment and training to the deputies, so that they could handle a bad situation if it came up. That would be the way to go, and building relationships with other jurisdictions in our area, Carson, Washoe County, Reno PD, Lyon County, NHP. Building those relationships is the best way to get help. If you have a problem and you call up, then they come up and help, and vice versa. It goes both ways. So bringing a SWAT team to Virginia City is just ridiculous. So,
okay.
That's not even
good to know. I think a lot of people are wondering. I think a lot of people are wondering about that.
Yeah.
And like you said, the training and stuff is great for just everyday officers, just to be prepared, just to have that confidence and just know that they can deal with the situation if need be. Yeah. You don't necessarily need a team for it, right?
No.
And with Storey County being so spread out, you're right. You may need to call in other resources from other places, especially during these big events in Virginia City. When you need all hands on deck, so to speak. With such a small department and such a large area to cover, it's good to have those relationships. And even if you just have a single officer out there, if they're well trained and maybe learn some of those techniques from your SWAT years and all that stuff, it could benefit them and everybody else.
Some of the best techniques are the ability to speak to people.
Absolutely.
And if you can speak to people, you can get a lot of cooperation.
For sure.
And it could be in a bad situation or something good. Maybe you say the right thing at the right time and you get some information, or you gain some cooperation, like you said, and it helps. And just learning to speak to people is a big deal. And I think that goes hand in hand with working with the community, getting the volunteer units involved, starting to have a reserve program up here, and you have some of these units to draw from when we have big events. So we wouldn't necessarily have to bring in other agencies. We would have our own groups of people that we could bring in. There's a lot of groups up here that want to be involved.
Yeah.
And I've been approached by many people, and they're just waiting for this election to get over with so they can jump in.
Jump on board. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. Awesome. Sounds great, Mike.